Yes, Your Grace is described as an RPG, all about item management, and I would agree with this statement, but would also add that it is a point-and-click adventure game as well. Available currently on Steam only, the game is being sold for about $20 without a sale. It is a very basic design choice with its characters and environments all presented by pixel 16-bit graphics. Same with the voice acting in the game, which is very minimalistic, but very effective. Think of the voice acting like Banjo-Kazooie, gobbledygook that conveys the tone and message without having to have a voice actor say more than
Kua, ubat, ubat, Kupawa, da.
In just those few voice lines, you could understand the tone and a little bit about the character. A higher-pitched male voice to show timidness, a bombastic tone to show the king's rallying cry, and yes, even a drunkard tone to show, well, drunkenness. This all works together quite well to give the game a unique feel, and an unusual way to tell the story as well. Yes, that means that you will be reading quite a lot of dialogue, but for me, it was a very interesting experience, giving these characters voices in my head that matched the random noises they would make. So, how does the gameplay work? Like I said, it's a point-and-click adventure game, where you guide the king to different rooms to interact with the people in them, but a bulk of the game is in the throne room, where you decide where to spend your limited resources. A line of people will come to you every week, and you must decide who to help, and who to show the door. Of course, there are more people that come asking for different things as the game progresses, which you'll be able to choose between a few different choices that you wouldn't have earlier. Sometimes you'll be able to choose one of your agents, who can assist them, rather than giving them gold or supplies. You have a general at your disposal, along with a witch and a hunter later on. Each one can solve unique favors, but this will make them unavailable for some time. Usually it's about 2 weeks, but the maximum I saw was about 4. You can also send your agents out into the world via the map. Usually these quests are done in the same amount of time, although towards the end game some just took a week to finish. Let me get back to the resources in the game. Along with your agents, you have gold, supplies, and overall happiness of the kingdom to worry about. Helping peasants will grant happiness, while turning them away will make them angry. If you use too much gold or supplies, the kingdom will collapse and you'll have to restart from the beginning of the week. As you play through the game, you will have more things to worry about, but you will also receive more gold and supplies through completing quests. As the game progresses, you are given access to a pigeon. The pigeon can send messages to allies that invites them to come to the kingdom to try and win their favor. Some give you quests you must complete, while others are solved within one interaction. You also have an advisor who keeps track of all the daily ins and outs of the kingdom, including the upkeep of your army, progress towards specific objectives, overall health of the kingdom, and he will write out small paragraphs about your interactions with people and the quests that have been happening. Along with loyal subjects, the king has a family to keep track of as well. You play as King Eryk, an aging king who has ruled the kingdom called Davern for some time. Queen Aurelia is your wife, a supportive woman who wants what is best for the family. You also have 3 daughters, I'm gonna mess these up, Lorsulia, Asalia, and Sidani. Lorsulia is the eldest, and Sidani is the youngest. Each one has unique plots for their characters, which of course, I won't spoil here. The story itself is pretty interesting to me as well, even though it has a few medieval tropes in it, like a breach of a treaty, a death of the wedding, forced marriage, and curses to name a few. It also has intertwined between those usual stories, characters and plots that give it a nice story in which, in the end, I was very happy with how it turned out. There are a few twists and turns along with both sad and funny moments, which gave the game a lot of heart. There are a few choices in the game where no matter what you pick, the same outcome occurs, but just like any Mass Effect game, your choices do end up changing a few things in the end. Depending on how many peasants you help, upgrades you get for your castle, deals you struck with the bank, it really does change the outcome of the game, to an extent. One playthrough of the game took me about 6 hours to complete. On the second playthrough, I tried to pick as many different options as I could. Some things changed drastically, while others stayed relatively the same. I would compare the ending of this game to the end of Mass Effect 2. It really did remind me of all your actions culminating in one big ending, but I could also compare the game to that of a Telltale game, where even though you made some choices that mattered, a good chunk also stays the same no matter what. I felt this the most with the battle sequences, but also as well with the Assalia plot. All in all, the twists and turns of ruling over a kingdom in Yes, Your Grace was a very interesting and fun experience. I can say that I got my money's worth out of it, although I could see it being a better deal for $5 to $10 less. When I bought the game, it was on sale for $17. Apart from the small gripes I had about the overall choices you had in the game and how they affected the ending, I really did enjoy my time with Yes, Your Grace. It had me playing for hours on end saying, one more week, almost like I'm playing Civilization. When the game finished for my second playthrough, I was rather satisfied with the time spent playing the game and did not feel like it was a waste of time to play the game again. I love the overall presentation of the game, the visuals, characters, and story all blend quite nicely. The item management aspects of the game makes sense, and is not so in-depth that you're spending hours just learning the different ins and outs of it, which for me is a blessing because I'm not a huge fan of reading endless pages of instructions for what could be a simple task. You are immediately drawn into the world and kingdom of Davern with its quirky characters and fun interactions, but you stay entwined in the story as you learn more about the cast of characters in the game. Before I give my final verdict on the game, I would like to mention that magic and monsters do exist in this world. When I first started playing, I turned away a few peasants looking for help with a monster or curse. I quickly learned that although they are not real in our reality, they are very much real in Davern. So, with all that being said, I would give Yes, Your Grace a 4 out of 5. Thanks for listening, and I hope you check out this game if it seems interesting to you. So, what were your thoughts on Yes, Your Grace? Did it command your respect, or did you desert your post and try to escape the castle? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my podcast, and you can watch me live stream on Twitch as well. All links are down below. Thanks for watching.